Hello and welcome to the New Year's Eve edition of Cracking the Cryptic. And what a 2025 this has been for puzzling. Absolutely incredible. And to be honest, we couldn't think of a better way to celebrate 2025 than by doing a puzzle by none other than Kaktuslav, who I think probably it would be fair to say has been the newcomer on the Sudoku scene, who has consistently just absolutely wowed us this year. This puzzle, I think the title of this one is brilliant. It's called Venice, and you can see it's full of, these are region sum lines. I'll explain what they are. Don't worry if you've never seen a region sum line before, but we've just got lots of these straight canals going through the puzzle. It actually strikes me as pretty difficult to make a region sum line puzzle using only straight blue lines. But anyway, that is what Kaktuslav has achieved. This is what we're going to have a go at in today's video. Let me show you some of the comments actually that we found on this one. So basically everyone says it's amazing, which is perhaps unsurprising. But I loved Christune's comment. I don't know if you can see it there. Venice, Vidi, Vici. Which, of course, I mean, I almost have to use that for today's video title. I came, I saw, I conquered. So Venice, I saw, I conquered from Christune. One of the great comments of all time. Codec there saying it's brilliant. There were a few comments on Logic Master suggesting this has a sting in the tail, by the way. So even if we manage to start it, that doesn't necessarily mean we will find it plain sailing. I think it had 3 stars out of 5 for difficulty over on Logic Masters, and I am very, very much looking forward to having a go at this in a moment or two's time. But I have mentioned, obviously, it's the last video of the year, or my last video of the year. There'll be one more from Mark later on this evening. Just a few things that happened on the channel this year. We collaborated again with Numberphile, with Matt Parker for the first time. Peter Svidler came on the channel. I still can't believe that. We had Jane Street puzzles. We started curating puzzles for the Wall Street Journal a couple of months ago. So now, if you follow the Wall Street Journal at weekends, you will see there's always 2 puzzles that we have selected, which, I mean, that's a great thrill for us. Biggest videos of the year? Well, we I think the video that sort of made the most impact was Atticus 837's Hypnotic Suggestion, I think it was called, which was an incredibly simple idea, but that's been viewed hundreds of thousands of times. Our most watched video of the year, though, wasn't, for once, Ard van der Wetering's A Sudoku with only 4 given digits, which I think is resting at the moment on 9.93 million views. So that is really close to 10 million. So if you've not watched that, then you want to sort of try and get it towards the 10 million threshold, I'm sure it'll get there fairly soon. But no, it wasn't that one. It was actually another one by Ard, which was called, I think we called it A Sudoku with only 2 given digits. That's been viewed over 1 million times this year. And I think the thumbnail just had what. It's weird what difference a thumbnail can make to a video's performance. What else? Blueprints. Obviously, we've been visiting the Blueprints mansion now just about weekly for about half the year, and I think the first Blueprints video that we made has ticked over 100,000 views just this last week. Lots of you have been saying, can I pick the puzzle of the year? The answer is no, not really. I'm not sure it's appropriate. It feels a bit like choosing between your children to say, oh, I really enjoyed that one more than any other. You probably gathered, if you've been watching the channel, I really enjoy all the puzzles, and sometimes for very different reasons. I mean, I've done some battles with Icy Fruit this year, so that some of which have taken sort of 3 hours, 40, 4 hours, and I look back on those videos with just a little bit of pride that I managed to solve them at all. Incredible puzzles. But there have been puzzles I've done that have taken 25 minutes that I thought were amazing. There was one puzzle that was a 4x4, if you remember that one. It was sort of the murder mystery themed one. That was extraordinary. Anyway, I dragged out some statistics just to share with you. The channel's been watched for over 10 million hours. 10 million hours of human time. The videos have had more than, I think, 40 million views this year. And I thought, a couple of things I'll mention. It's still true to say, I think 40% of the views are from people who aren't subscribed. So if you're not subscribed, please do consider subscribing. I know it's not always easy because you might not be logged into your Google or whatever it is you have to do to officially subscribe, but please do. We are closing in. We're not that far away from 700,000 subscribers on YouTube. I think we're about 679,000 at the moment. We will do something special if we get to 700,000. So if you want to see what that is, who knows what it might be? It might be Mark playing Dance Dance Revolution, as he's often promised to do, or it might be something more Sudoku related. But there will be a treat if we get to 700,000 subscribers, so please do help us if you can. And if you want to drop a comment into tonight's video, a question, I will try and answer some of the questions in tomorrow's video on New Year's Day, when I might be a little bit, I might be feeling a little bit delicate tomorrow. I'm not sure, but I will do my best. So if you have a question, drop it into a comment on this video, and we'll try and answer some of those tomorrow. What else? What else can I tell you about? I'm just looking at my list. I don't want to miss anything. I think 2026 is going to be pretty amazing. I mean, off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure we're going to see Marty Sears Rat Run Season 3 pretty soon. So that's exciting. Anyway, what else can I tell you about? Well, tomorrow, being the 1st of January, if you're a patron of the channel over on Patreon, there is something rather wonderful happening, because we have a brand new Sudoku hunt launching at 4 p.m. UK time tomorrow by the Paint by Numbers Institute. Let me remove that and put up this instead. Off by One calendar. You can see, look, some of the puzzles there. Very colourful creations there are. You may gather from the fact that they're all sort of headed with a month. You may think you know how many puzzles there are. You might just be slightly wrong, actually. But this is a wonderful pack. Do have a go at it. The prize, as usual recently, will be the chance to come on the channel and solve a puzzle. And I can tell you that Don and I did that yesterday, and we had an absolute blast. It was brilliant. And I hope that video, in fact, might go live tomorrow morning. I just need, I've got a couple of admin points to deal with, but it might do. So that would be, why is my phone buzzing? I don't know. But anyway, that's something I think it's well worth watching, not least because the puzzle that we tackled together was by Erin Tola. And you may remember Erin because Erin featured in one of the first viewer solves that we did. I think Erin was the 3rd episode of these viewer solves. And now Erin has set a puzzle so good that Mark selected it and said, this is the one you should try and solve with Don. And that's what we did. So that hopefully will go live on the channel tomorrow. Do check it out, and do make sure that you have a go at the Off by One Sudoku hunt that goes live tomorrow on Patreon. And I've got one birthday to do today, a New Year's Eve birthday, and this is Ona. Ona, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. It could be Honor, I suppose, but I'm going to go for Ona. Turning 20 over there in Catalonia. What a beautiful part of the world that is. And I know it's your birthday because your girlfriend Christina wrote to me and told me that you both watch. So thank you for doing that. I hope you have a brilliant birthday today. I hope there is chocolate cake. I don't hope there's chocolate cake. I hope there's chocolate cake aplenty, and that it is, of course, very heavily iced. Now, with that long introduction said and done, let's have a look at Venice by the great Kaktuslav and see what the rules of the puzzle officially are. Let me move a pencil out of the way as well. We have got normal Sudoku rules apply, so we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Let me just check. I am sorry, because I'm using new software to record at the moment, so I'm never quite as trusting of it until I get used to it. Anyway, so that's normal Sudoku. Then it says box borders divide each blue line into segments with the same sum. This sum may be different for different lines. So what does that mean? Let's find a long line. Let's use this line. So you can see that the 3x3 box borders divide this line into segments. So let's just illustrate those segments. And the sum of the digits in the yellow cells has to be the same as the sum of the digits in the purple cells has to be the same as the sum of the digits in the green cells. And that's as simple as the rules are. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Okay, well, the first thing I tend to do with region sum lines puzzles is try and look at things like this, because you can see that there's a big mismatch between the length of the segment in box 2, which is sort of 1 cell, and the length of the segment in box 3, which is 3 cells. So we know that the minimum sum of 3 different Sudoku cells is 6 if we populated these digits with 1, 2 and 3. 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. So this cell must be at least a 6. And the same is true of the one beneath it. Look, they have to have, because these 3 have to add to the same as that one. No, that's an equal split. There's another one there. 6, 7, 8, 9 into this one. No, that isn't enough. Oh, there's one here. 6, 7, 8, 9 into that one. Yeah, a split of a 2v1 is much less helpful because of in theory that could be a 1-2 pair adding up to 3, which means there's very little pressure on this single cell. Okay, I'm not seeing anything else very useful, or indeed at all useful here. I mean, there's a mod 3 point about this cell, which probably we should make, and that actually derives from a secret. Now, if you've been following the channel for a while, you may be aware of the secret of Sudoku. You may even have discovered it yourselves, but it's a secret I share with only my very favourite people. But of course, if you're watching this video, you're one of my favourite people, so I will share with you the secret of Sudoku. And the secret of Sudoku is that any row, indeed any column, or any box in a Sudoku, because of the rules of Sudoku, contains the digits 1 to 9 once each, and therefore we know its sum. The sum of any complete row is 45. That is the triangular number for 9. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 is 45. So that row sums to 45. Now, that in and of itself is it's very interesting, but I'm not particularly going to use that fact. I'm going to use the fact that 45 is divisible by 3. Because I know something, don't I, about this line. When we looked at it originally, we said these segments are all of equal value. So let's say that green sums to x. Well, then purple sums to x and yellow sums to x. So the total of this line is 3x, which is obviously therefore divisible by 3. But if the whole row is divisible by 3, and this line individually is divisible by 3, what do we know about this number here? Well, it must be divisible by 3. Now that means it's actually only got 2 options. It could ordinarily have been 9 as well, but it can't be 9 because it's on this line. And if this was 9, and these 3 cells are meant to add up to the same as this number, obviously if this is 9, these 2 cells would have had to be, well, it just couldn't work. It's just nonsense. That could be 6 though, just. It could only be 6 if this is a 1-2 pair. That would be the only way of keeping these 3 cells down to a total that's just a single digit total. So it's quite likely, actually, we're going to get a 3 in the corner. but it's not certain. And if this was, thing is, if this is 3, it's putting no pressure on the value of this. So what else are we doing then? Okay, here's a subtler point. Those two cells are the same. They are the same digit. If you can't see why that is, do pause the video and have a look at that, because that is more difficult to see. It's sort of a bit setty how you can get to that, but it is true. For those of you who have seen that already or managed to see it, congratulations. The reason that's true is that that segment of cells there must have the same sum as that segment of cells, or those, because if this is x, this is y, and this is z, then purple sums to x plus y plus z, doesn't it? But we know each of these segments, that's going to be x, that's going to be y, and that's going to be z. So these 8 cells also sum to x plus y plus z. Now that means that these 3 cells sum to the same as that number, because we know that this box sums to 45, and this box sums to 45, and we're taking the same thing away. So when we deduct from 45 the sum of the purple, we're going to get the same as when we deduct from 45 the sum of the green. So that cell is the same as those 3 cells. But we know that the sum of those 3 cells is that cell as well. So there's a little bit of jiggery-pokery going on, but actually now we can say that these, this is it's nearly brilliant, but it's not quite. Well, or is it actually? No, it is. It's very good. It's very good. Okay, I can go a bit further. Right. We've deduced these are the same. Now imagine these were both 6 for a moment. Could that work? Well, the answer is no, and that's because there's only one way of making 3 different digits in Sudoku sum to 6, and that's with the digits 1, 2, and 3. So these would be 1, 2, and 3, and so would these. And you can see in row 3 now we've got too many 1s, 2s, and 3s. So that wouldn't work. Now if this was 7, it still doesn't work, because the only way of making 7 is 1, 2, 4. Now it gets a little bit less clear, so we can eliminate 6 and 7 from yellow, but 8 you can do in 2 different ways, 1, 2, 5 and 1, 3, 4, and 9 you can do in 3 different ways, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 5, 1, 2, 6. So that might have been as far as we could take this logic, but it's actually not, because we can repeat the trick that we've just done up here, down here. This is so clever, Kaktuslav. It really is lovely. What do I mean by that? Well, we know that yellow plus purple is 45. But we know that these purple cells have the same sum as those green cells by the region sum rules. So we know, in other words, that green plus yellow is also 45. But that means that those 3 cells have to add up to the same as yellow, don't they? But that digit is massive. It's absolutely massive. So that's going to have to be 6, and these are going to have to be, this is going to be a 3. The only way that we can equate yellow with orange is by keeping this as low as possible, keeping these as low as possible, and that will allow yellow to be 9, and that to be 3, because 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. Knowledge bomb for you there. So that could still be 6, couldn't it? All right, I don't know what immediately to do as a result of that, but that's at least got us started in terms of some digits. These, okay, this is now 1, 2, 3 triple in order to add up to 6. So these digits are 4, 5, 7, 8. And they looks like they're going to have to be 12, aren't they, on each side? So we don't know. One side will be 4, 8, the other side will be 5, 7, but we don't know which side is which. And we know that the makeup of this 9 total has to be different to the makeup to this 9 total. So if this was 6, 2, 1 down here, this couldn't also be 1, 2, 6 because this cell would then be under too much pressure. Now, oh, hang on, right. Well, this is a 1, 2, 3 triple. So what's the minimum value of those two cells? 4 plus 5, isn't it? They can't be more than 4 plus 5 because this would be a double-digit number. So that's a 9. So we've got quite a... Actually, I'm going to carry on labelling my 9s with yellow because it amuses me to do so. I was so delighted when solving with Don yesterday how important Don felt it was to colour everything properly. I completely and utterly agreed with him. So we had an absolute blast colouring that puzzle. Now, what about these cells? These are all quite hefty, actually. They've got to be at least equal to 6. So those two cells, well, we've got to be a bit careful because these two cells can't add up to more than 15, can they? Because we can't include a 9 in this domino. So this could be 8, 7. Yeah, 8, 7 with this being 9, 6 is probably possible. So that 15 is possible. Weirdly, 14 is not possible there. So we've worked out the maximum sum of this domino here is 15 because these two can't add up to more than 15. But if we'd actually make this lower than 15 and make it 14, the only way of making that domino add up to 14 is by making it a 6 and an 8. But then this couldn't be a 6 and an 8, so it would have to be a 5 and a 9, and that would break there because we couldn't repeat 9 in box 9. So 14 doesn't work. Does 13 work? Could that be 6, 7? Oh, no, I'm not saying that 6, 7 thing. I mean, that's just, it's almost like that's been invented to annoy me. 6, 7. So could this, if this was 6, 7, that would have to be... Yeah, is that what I'm learning? Does there have to be an 8 in this domino? That might be the point. Because I think what we've just said is that the only possibilities for this domino here are 15. It clearly can't add up to 16 because that's going to need a 9, or 17, that's going to need a 9. So it's either 15 or 13. Now, if it's 15, it would have to be 7, 8. And if it's 13, because this would be 6, 7, and this couldn't be 4, 9, it would be 5, 8. So there is definitely an 8 in here. There is definitely not an 8 in there, and there is definitely an 8 in there. And there's definitely an 8 in one of these two then, by Sudoku. Can that be 8? Yeah, I would think so. And this is either 15. So this always has 6 on it. Yeah, that's okay. So we can take 6 out of these cells because it's either adding up to 15 or 13, and both of the options there need a 6. Oh dear, Maverick's flying over. It's actually quite a nice day, I would think, to fly over. It's very blue sky today. It's just cold. It's really chilly. Okay, I'm a bit worried now that I'm getting bogged down. Oh dear. Oh no. So, what do you think we have to do now? I haven't got a clue. Is it... No, I don't know actually. Golly. Is there some sort of Sudoku that we can consider. Or does it... Oh, hang on. Oh, suspicious connection blocked. Why is... Well, I'm not even using the internet. How can that be suspiciously connecting, blocking a suspicious connection? I don't understand. I don't understand computers. Right. Well, I'm worried... Well, I'm not worried. I'm thinking about the sum of these. Let's just do the maths on this. So if that is a 3 in the corner, then we know that the remainder of we know that the row 1 line would add up to 42. Now 42 divided by 3 is 14, so each slug would add up to 14. So this slug would add up to 14, and this slug would add up to 9, which means that those two coloured strings together would add up to 23, which would mean because this box adds up to 45, these cells would add up to 22. Those ones, oh, I should pick a different colour perhaps. Those ones, no, I don't like that colour, blue. That's a nicer colour. Those blue ones would add up to 22, so they would include a 9. And if this is 6, then the line in row 1 adds up to 39, and each slug of it adds up to 13. That's actually going to put more pressure on this, because if this is 13, if the orange adds up to 13 and the green adds up to 9, then orange plus green is 22, which means blue would be 23, and it would have to be 6, 8, 9. There's only one. So there is definitely a 9 in that string of digits. And it's either 5, 8, 9, 6, 7, 9, or 6, 8, 9. Which, okay. So 9 is in this domino now. And what do we say this was? 13 or 14. So this is either 4, 9 or 5, 9. Now, does that matter for the purple here? 4 or... No, it doesn't, does it? 4 or 5 is hypothecated to this domino, but this doesn't need to have a 4 or a 5. It could indeed be 6, 1, 2 and not even go anywhere near 4s and 5s. Oh, okay, so that... Okay, I think this hasn't done anything. Bother. Oh, right, no. Let's do something much simpler. Where's 9 in box 7? And the answer is I don't know. Well, I sort of know. It's in a domino. It's not in its own row. It can't be on this line, because this line sums up to a maximum of 9. So if this is 9 plus A plus B, it's going to obviously add up to more than 9. So 9 is in those two cells. And now, where's 9 in box 8? And we can't put 9 on this domino, because again, it would make this too big. So that's a 9. Sorry, that's been available for ages, hasn't it? So 9 is in one of those two cells. And again, that's interesting. So now we've got a purple here. We've got a green version of 9 here. Now this one, it definitely can't be the purple version, because imagine this was 1, 2, 6. This can't be 1, 2, 6 as well. We'd have too many 1s, 2s and 6s in column 1. But it doesn't necessarily mean this is green. It just could be. Okay. Okay, but probably we can do some mathsing now on row 8, can we? I know those two have to add up to an odd number. It's almost an interesting point. And obviously the reason we know that is that any region sum line, if you add up all the digits on the region sum line, you're going to arrive at an even number. Because if this is x, then this is x, so the sum of the line is 2x, isn't it? Sorry, I mean that's not true here, because the line goes through 3 boxes, but any line that goes through 2 boxes, like these two, these are each expressible as 2 times a number. So overall, those 7 cells are 2 times a number, so they are even, but we know the whole row is odd, because it adds up to 45. So those have to add up to an odd number. to correct the parity, which is almost interesting. But okay, that digit there is not a tiddly-widdly digit, is it? It can't be 1, 2, or 3, so that's at least a 4. So this line here adds up to at least 5. It can't be 5 because we've got a 5 in this domino, so that's actually that's only 6 or 7. 6, 7 again. The reason is I've got an 8 pencil marked in this domino. We've said it has to add up to at least 5, and it can't be 5. So that is 6, 7. It can't be 8 or 9. So this domino, well, this digit is at least a 4. It can't be 6. So that's 4 or 5. And that's 1 or 2. It can't be 3. So this digit is really tiny, right? So if that was 7, it would have to be 5 too. And if this is if it's 6, it's got both options. It's got 1 5 and 2 4 available. But okay, but now this row is, well, if that's a 6, then these two let's just make that red. Oopsie. If this is a 6, then these two add up to 15, which means these 7 cells add up to 30, i.e. double 15, which would mean these have to add up to 15. That's almost impossible, because that would have to be 8, 7 then, wouldn't it? Which would mean this couldn't be 15. So this would have to be, what did we say? It could be 13. So this could be, so this would be 8, this would be 5, this would be 7. That would have to be, that's 13, so that would be 6, 7. So that would be 8 or 9 naturally, and this would be 1 or 2. And if this is 7 on the other hand, these add up to 32 then, double 16, very popular down at Alexandra Palace at the moment, where the dance is happening. Come on, Luke Littler. So double, that would make these add up to 13. Oh, right. So this domino, hang on, if that's 7, that would have to be 5, 8 again. So is this always 8? That's weird. That is weird. Hang on. I'm not sure I trust that. So what I'm saying here is if this is 6, this domino adds up to 15, which makes it an 8-7 pair. But we know that the 8 is in this domino in box 9, so this would have to be the 8. And this would have to be a 7. Whereas if this is a 7, these add up to 13 now without using 7 and without using 9. So they are 5 and 8, but again the 8 is in this domino and in this domino. So that is always 8. This is now 5 or 7, and this is 5 or 7. So that is weird. There's a, oh, that's gorgeous. So that's a 6. Wow. Wow. Okay, that feels a bit like magic, doesn't it? So there's some sort of weird 5-7 pair that we've managed to deduce in box 9, which is going to force this not to be 7. So that's 6 now, which means this is 7. It means this is 5, which means this is 6, 7. Of course, we shouldn't have expected any different. So this is now 1 or a 2. And what do we do with that now? So now this one isn't 9. Oh, okay, 9 is here. So I can get the 9. I get the 9 in box number 3. I do know, I get an 8-7 pair in in box 3 as well, because this 7 interacts with the 7 here and this 8 interacts with the 8 here, and we can't put 7 and 8 on a 3-cell line that sums to 9. The biggest digit that could go on here would be a 6. Now, 7, 6, 5. So these digits are all tiny digits now. These are 1s, 2s, 3s and 4s. So is it this one? It might not be, but the maximum that could be now is a 7. It can't be a 6. It could probably be a 5. And I'm not even sure it can't be a 4. It can't be a 3, because that would make this a 1-2 pair, and that would kill off this cell. Ah, that's not a 4, though. Oh. In this column, this digit is a 1, 2, or a 3. My Sudoku. Yeah, these digits are also from 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is almost forced. It just isn't quite. Oh, no. Sorry. 6 is in one of those cells, but it could be here. 6, 1, 2 looks quite interesting here, doesn't it? Eight has to be up here in column 6, which means, okay, so where's 8 in row 3 then? It can't be here, it can't be here, it definitely can't be on this 9 line, so 8 is in that domino, which it might matter. Yeah, that is it. That is interesting, actually. Yeah, that's really interesting. This is again, it's weird. Kaktuslav is so brilliant. Right, now I'm just going to keep focusing on this row. Where's 7? And the answer is, I'm not sure, but I know it's not on these 9 lines. And it can't be here, can it? Because that would make this add up to 15, and this can't add up to 15, because it can't use a 9, and it couldn't use 8 and 7. So 7 in this row is in these 2 cells, but now, where's 7 in this box? It's not on the 9 line, it's not in those cells, so it's here. And that's going to resolve this. So that's 7, that's 8, that's 8. I mean, it might not do anything more than just resolve this sort of pattern that we had, but it still feels quite cool. So, oh, I don't know. Come on, Simon. I know this is doing something up here, I just can't see it. 8. Bother. I don't know. Maybe this is the sting in the tail that the comments were talking about. Ah. Okay, this 9 line is not now 6, 1, 2. So it's got to have a 3 on it. It's either 2, 3, 4 or 1, 3, 5. Yeah, it's got 2 digits on it that add up to 6 that are whatever this isn't. Which is probably going to matter somehow. How do we do this then? Is this totally straightforward at this point? And you're probably all saying, yes, why can't he see it? I'm sorry, I am trying to spot whatever it is I'm meant to spot. I'm not doing a very good job of it, am I? It's probably the top row again now, is it? Okay, yeah, we worked out this is either 13 or 14. So has something been ruled out? Not necessarily. I mean, obviously, if this is 6, then, yeah, well, that's just stopping this being a 6 anyway. Those two would add up to, if this is 6, we're looking for 13s, aren't we? So this would be 4, 9. That would be 1, 5. And that would be 2, 3. And that looks like it works. Okay, if that's 6 then, sorry, if that's 3, then we're looking for, then we've got 5, 9 here, and we're looking for 14 segments, which means this would be 2, 4. So this would be 2, 4, so this would be 1, 6. I think that works as well, doesn't it? I think that works either way round, because in that version, that's a 3. That's 5, 9. That's 2, 4. And that's 1, 6. Oh, bother. Okay. Wow. So I don't, well, I mean, I might be wrong, but I don't actually now think it is that line. Oh, I know that digit approximately, don't I? Because we worked out the sum of these two was either, well, we worked out the sum of blue was either 22 or 23. So this digit is a 5 or a 6. Which, unfortunately, is not good enough. Bother. Wow, okay. I don't know, it can't be that line, can it? I'm not at all sure, to be honest. Well, okay, let's check this column. Ah, that digit's under pressure. Oh, I see. No, column 6, where's 7? That's beautiful. Oh, I didn't see that at all. 7's got to be at the bottom. Right, so that's going to do loads of work. This has to be 3, 4, which means I've got a 1, I've got a 1, 2 pair here, but this, hang on, let's go through it. So now we've got a 4 here, so that's not a 4. Ooh, that digit's got to be a middly digit now. Ah, this is a 3, because it sees a 1, 2 pair. So in this column, look, oh, these digits are a 4, 5, 6 triple. Wow. Oh, and that still doesn't tell me what this is. That's extraordinary. It's got all options available. It could still be 4, 3, 2, 5, 3, 1, 6, 1, 2 in some order. Although I don't know how. I don't think it's going to be 6, 1, 2 because I don't think there would be a way of resolving that pattern there. It could go either way round without changing the internal logic of the puzzle. So the puzzle would have 2 solutions. Now, those of you who've been watching for a while will know that we don't allow ourselves to use uniqueness when we're solving. So although I know this puzzle will have a unique solution, I test it, I solve it in the videos as if I didn't know that, to make sure that it is a valid Sudoku. So I won't use the fact that I know this won't be 6, but that's for a uniqueness related reason. Right. Bother. Oh, hang on though. Didn't we conclude something about that cell? I have a feeling in both of the options I looked at here that this couldn't be a 4, but that might be wrong. It's a bit case testy as well, wasn't it? So what were we saying? If that was 3 in the corner, then we're looking at 14 slugs, which means that becomes 5, 9, that becomes 2, 4 to give us the extra 6 that we need. And so that wouldn't be a 4 in that instance. And if on the other hand this is 6, then we're looking at 13 slugs and the 4's in there. So that isn't 4 actually. That's not really case testy. That was just fairly straightforward. So this is 4, and that at last gets us the nature of this 9 line. It's got to be 432 once it's got a 4 on it. So that does resolve this 2 and this 1. It does resolve this digit as a 1. Now we know that this isn't 2, 3, 4, so we know it's got a 1 on it. I still don't know what it is. Oh, no, I don't know where the 1 goes. It's either 6, 2, 1 in some order, or 3, 1, 5 in some order. And I'm sure I'm meant to know which of those it is, but that's ridiculous. I don't think I do. Oh, I'm so pathetic. Okay, where's 8 in this box? That might be what we have to look at next. 8 can't go on the line because it would make this a 9, and that's going to clash with yellow. So 8's got to be down here. Now 8 in this box. Well, it's in one of those. Could this be 8? It could actually. Oh, this would have to be 2, 6. That's the only way it could work. No, I don't know. That looks possible to me. 1, 2, 5, 6. 2, 5, 6. Hang on. Hang on. Right. I know. Is it this cell? It might well not be. But I was looking along row 9, and I've got 9, 8, 7, 3, and 4. So just purely Sudoku, this is 1, 2, 5, and 6. Now, we're going to have to be a bit careful there, aren't we? 3, 1, 5. I'm not sure. No, it might be fine. Well, I know this isn't 1. That's definitely true, because I worked out there's a 1 on this line. So this is now 2, 5, or 6. So, but I know that this. So if this was 3, 1, 5. Oh, that's it. That's it. This can't be 3, 1, 5. Oh, good grief. That's ridiculous from Kaktuslav. Do you see why? This is so beautiful. If this was 3, 1, 5, this cell in the corner becomes 2 or 6. But if this is 3, 1, 5, we know this can't be 3, 1, 5, but we know it's got a 1 on it. So it's got to be 1, 2, 6, and that cell in the corner can't do anything about that. It would be broken. This cannot be 3, 1, 5, so it must be 2, 3, 4, and it's the same as its friend over there, and I'm definitely making it green, therefore. So, no, that doesn't mean I know what that is. But if that's 2, 3, 4, this has got to be 1, 5, which means that's a 4 up there. That could have been the sting in the tail, couldn't it? Because that was quite tricky. It doesn't tell us what this is, though. But can we... Yeah, we can do some Sudoku from this, because now there's got to be a 4 on this line, which means this can't be 8 anymore, because it would make that double 4. So the 8 shifts over very slightly, and this is going to be... Well, what digit are we partnering up with the 4 here? If it wasn't a 2, what would it be? It couldn't be anything. This must be 2, 4. Because if it doesn't have 2 on it, we can't double 4 it. The next lowest digit would be a 6, and that would make this a 10. So that is 2, 4, and that's a 6. And that's good news for the goodies, because that means we get a 1 here and a 2 here. And this, oh, that's a 7, 8 pair, apparently. which might matter. So we've got 5, 6 and 9 in the bottom row. I'm sure there's all sorts of Sudoku going on here as well, but I'm just not spotting it. Now what about those digits then? They're 6 and 8, are they? No, they're not. This is wrong. This is wrong, isn't it? Sorry. This is 6 and 8. That does seem to be true, but there's a 6 here I somehow failed to notice. So this is 5. This is 1, 5, 9 actually. And that's, oh well, hang on. Oh yeah, when I got this 6, I had that labelled as 5 or 6, didn't I? So I could have written 5 into there. Sorry. That's me being inept. Right, so this is 126 now. It can't be 135 anymore. And if it's 126, what's the corner digit? No, we're not. No, we don't get a 3 in the corner. We don't get it. Because that digit can't be 3. There's no way to fill the line. It is a 6 in the corner. 6 here, 5 here. We now know everything. That should add up to 13 and does. Beautiful. Right, so this is 6, 1, 2. We know the order completely. This is no longer a 2. So we need 3, 4, 7 and 8 into this box. Now, this is adding up to 13 now because we're deducting 6 from 45 to get 39 for the line. So x must be 13. So now we've got 4, 9 here. And it's just going to be a process of elimination. That's going to be a 2, 3 pair. Somehow that's not resolved. I mean, that's nonsense, isn't it? How is that not resolved? Oh, but we can allocate stuff in this row. Because what have we got? We've got 19, haven't we, there? So this line must add up to 26, which means each slug of it adds up to 13. So that's got to be 5, 8, and this has got to be 6, 7. Of course. What else did we expect? If that's 5, 8... Okay, I don't know. What about this then? 3, 7, adding up to 10, apparently. So this has to add up to 10, and it does, because this is a 1, 5. And that, actually, I do know the order of. That's no longer 5. What were we looking for here? Was it 12 pairs? So if that's not 5, that's not 7. And, okay. So therefore... I don't know what to do. Let's go for, what is it? Is it Sudoku? No. 6s. All of these straight canals, they look like they're not going to be... What's going on? Is it these two lines then? They look like they're the same. Like, I don't see how there's going to be a difference between them. Am I wrong about that? There's very little difference between them. What? Okay, I must be able to do more Sudoku here, I think. Otherwise, I don't understand. What's this 5 doing? Is that doing something? 5 is definitely in one of those 3. Oh golly, I'm sorry. I don't understand. How am I going to resolve this? Do I somehow know which way round this is? I must have missed some simple Sudoku here. Oh, and I can sense future viewers shouting at me. What is it that I'm meant to be doing here? Oh, and there's a little bit we can do there, look. I was thinking this seems to be ambiguous, but it isn't, because this is resolved. That is an 8 and that's a 9. So I get 9 on this line. Okay, and that isn't 8 anymore. Well, it must be this line then. There's no way it can't be this line, I think. So how does it resolve? It's going to depend, isn't it, on whatever. What can this be? Oh yeah, what can that be? It's not got a whole plethora of options, has it? It could be 3. When I say that, it probably can be a load of... It can't be 6. Okay, let's go for... I think just by Sudoku it's 3, 4, 5 or 7, because it sees the other digits. Now, can we rule any of those out? Yeah, I can rule out 7. I can rule that out very straightforwardly. Because if this was 7, this x here is 16, which means that's 16, which means those 5 are 32. 32 plus 8 is 40, which means the other 3 digits in the row should add up to 5, and you can't make 3 different Sudoku digits add up to 5, so that's definitely not a 7. It's probably difficult for it to be 5 even, because it was so broken. Let's try 5. If it's 5, we've got 14, 28, 36, so some combination of these needs to add up to 9 to get us to 45 for the row, and that won't work. The minimum sum of those two is 10 already, so 5 we can rule out. So this is coming right down now, so it's either 13, let's try 13. If this is 13, 26, 34, I need some combination of these that adds up to 11. Now that might be doable, actually. That might be doable. Although, hang on, maybe I don't have to go this far, because I'm now noticing I've got a 2, 3, 4 triple in this column, so that is not 4, which means this is not 8. Okay, maybe that hasn't done it. Okay, let's check 9, 3 here. I think that's going to put less pressure on this, though. Then we've got 12 here, which means we've got 24, 32. These have to add up to 13. That looks incredibly straightforward. Wow. Okay. So what on earth am I missing there? That's a bit terrifying. It's I don't know. Golly, that's really interesting, actually, because I don't understand what I've... Is it 6 in this box? 6 is only in one of 2 places. I mean, if I could, maybe I can rule 7 out from that cell. Is that the point? I'm not sure. Or maybe I've got to think harder. If that's 9, 4, that's 13. That would be a 5, wouldn't it? What am I meant to get to? 13, 26, 34, 11. Oh, hang on, that doesn't work. Oh, sorry, I missed something here. This is very obvious. If that's 4, unless my maths is wrong, which it could be, because that seems so obvious, I should have got it first time. If that's 13, we've got 26 for these 5 cells, plus 8 is 34, which means these add up to 11 to get us to 45. But if this is a 4, this is a 5, and that's at least a 6, so I can't make those add up to 11. Sorry, that's completely clear, isn't it? So this is 12, which means that is definitely not a 3, which means that is a 3, that is a 2, that's a 2, that's a 4, come on. 4 is in this domino. Now. Okay, so something must have gone. So now there is a 3 on this line. And this, right, this has to add up to 12. can it really have a 7 on it? These would add up. These would have to be a 1-4 pair. Is that all right or not? It might be. Okay, maybe that's all right. And what's the overall maths on it? We've got 24, 32. So these three have to add up to 13. Which I think there's more than one way of doing it. So we still have to be a bit careful here. But, although, or is it this line? Yeah, I now know what this line adds up to as well, don't I? I think just by a process of elimination. I've got 12 here. 12, oh, it's 12. It's also 12. Okay. Oh, goodness, no, this doesn't feel right, because now it feels like it's going to be ambiguous again. Wow. Yeah, so this is either 5-7 or 4-8, and so is this. So if it's 5-7, it's got to be this way round. If it's 4-8, it's got to be this way round. Which is great, isn't it? Doesn't it clear up some things for me? I think, well, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I mean, it does mean that we get this digit and this digit, I think. That's got to be 6, that's got to be 8, that's got to be 7, that's got to be 6. And, okay. And something here, one of these has got a 6 on it. But I think, unless I'm missing, I probably am missing things, aren't I, here? Because this has suddenly got, well, this must be the sting in the tail. We found the sting in the tail and we're getting stung by it. Okay, so how do we resolve this? Is there some sort of X-wing on 7s or 8s? Or maybe I've got to colour things, I don't know. Or is this 5 doing something? I've got 3, 4, 7, 8 here. If this was 8, this would have to be 1, 3, wouldn't it? Then this would be 6. This would have to be 4. This would have to be 2. And that might work. Oh, hang on. This line has got 3 on it. I'd forgotten that. And that does add up to 12. So it's also got 2 digits that add up to 9, so it can't have 6. That's beautiful. Ah, fair play. No, that's just me being thick. Okay, that is very, very lovely. So what I've now finally remembered my Sudoku. So it did matter what this line added up to. It is a bit of a sting in the tail. You really have to graft to get these last lines sorted out, but I've now done it because the fact this has got 3 on it and we worked out it has to sum to 12 means if I was to put the 6 on it, it would need a second 3. That's certainly not going to work, so the 6 has to be here, which makes that the 4 and that a 2, and that's going to do some thingies. Thingies being the euphemistic term for digits. Now, okay, so now that is a 3. So this digit is massive. And hopefully it will now disambiguate. Well, if this is 4, this can't be 4-8, can it? So that's 5-7. which means this is 4-8 on this side, which means this is 5-7 on this side. This being 5-7 makes this 8. It makes this a 1-3 pair. This must disambiguate, doesn't it? He says. Hopefully, yeah, I think it will. Yeah, it will. It will. There we go. It's all fine. There's nothing to see here except the genius of Kaktuslav. That is brilliant. What a beautiful puzzle. A fitting way to end the year with a stunning Sudoku from one of the best new constructors that we've discovered in 2025. I loved that. Start to finish, it's epic, isn't it? Let me know in the comments if you have... Or let me know in the comments how you got on with the puzzle. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions for tomorrow's video. We enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.